was walking with the god of death. Suddenly, I realized something. I was being followed by a sneaky man. To figure out who he was, I went home and asked the god of death for his name. He told me there was a price. If I wanted the name, I had to give up half of my remaining leg span. The cost was too high. I decided to handle it myself. So I wrote a passage in the death note. The next day, I took the bus with my girlfriend. I lured the man who was following me onto the same bus. He had no idea. He had already stepped into the trap I designed. I watched him sit directly behind me, turned around and asked why he was following me. He kept his head down and read his newspaper. He ignored me completely. Right then, an armed man suddenly rushed onto the bus. Seeing this, I quickly took out a piece of paper and a pen. I wrote that I could stop the attacker, but only if the man behind me said his real name. The attacker was seconds away from pulling the trigger. The man had no choice. He revealed he was a detective. After I learned his real name, I dropped a crumpled piece of paper onto the floor. It caught the attacker's attention when he bent down to pick it up. A creature had appeared on the bus. The attacker immediately opened fire, but the bullets did nothing to the god of death. The terrifying scene sent the attacker running. The next second, he was struck by an oncoming car. He lost his life in the accident. Every detail had been written by me the night before. I had already written this entire story in the death note. I set the attackers in as a traffic accident. I did all of this when I returned home. I did not write the detective's name in the death note. I had a better plan for him. The next day, after he got off work, I left an envelope on the subway. Inside was the death note and an earpiece. I was already on that train. When the detective put on the earpiece, I ordered him to write down his colleagues' names in the notebook. If he refused, the passenger in the carriage would suffer sudden cardiac arrest. The next second, a passenger beside him collapsed. After checking and finding no pulse, he obeyed me. He wrote down his colleagues' names one by one. Soon after, his colleagues began dying one after another. In the end, the detective did not escape either. The moment he stepped out of the subway, he collapsed from sudden cardiac arrest. Then his wife realized something. I was the last person he had been following. She became certain I was the one behind everything.